completely new, who I don't think you all have met before. So please be as encouraging as you can, because he's actually extremely shy and doesn't normally perform. I believe his name is Matt Talbert. Welcome, Matt. Congratulations on your brave step today.
Hello, good afternoon. I guess you don't even really need me. I'm now the second best Talbot to perform today. Probably third after Monty was dancing earlier. But it's all right, because Elizabeth is the master of ceremonies here. Or in my mind, the perfect master of ceremonies. Don't know if she's going to come out in like a gunny sack or something, or throw rocks at people, but it should be fun. But I appreciate the opportunity to do this. I was just able to do this for the young adult night in Myrtle Beach. I don't know if you've been out there in Myrtle Beach around Christmas time. Anyone been out there for that? And they let the young adults do it. They also let, yes, I think she's actually a young adult. I don't know if I still count, but they let me do it. I actually asked, I was like, I'm 36, can I do that? And they said, does your mom still view you as a 17-year-old? And in that case, I'm, so they allowed me to do that. I see you over there with your concern, but I'll keep the hat on, but thank you. I'll turn it backwards, if that's a concern. There we go. We have resolved this problem here. I appreciate them letting me do that as the young adult night, considering I injured my knee walking up to the stage right now. I'm not sure I still count as a young adult. And I'm still in concussion protocol from one of the volleyball games at Myrtle Beach, so I'm not sure. But I appreciate the opportunity there. I appreciate the opportunity here. And that's it. That's all the jokes I have for today. That was too enthusiastic of a clap. Too enthusiastic. No, I've actually run out of jokes. It's been 10 years since I started doing this. And I guess what's the deal with doll only goes so far. But in my defense, Baba died 50 years ago. So there hasn't been a lot of fresh material coming out of Mirazad. Outside of being in everything and everyone and doing everything and everyone, he hasn't really done much in 50 years. But we, I mean, if I was like, let me do jokes about Jimi Hendrix and Jimi Hendrix fans only and that's it, I probably wouldn't be able to put a whole decade worth of material together. So I feel like I'm doing all right. But to help me out for next year, Mayorana this year is coming up pretty soon, maybe you can write some jokes for me. Maybe you can just yell out some audience thoughts, topics, and then I'll take them down. I don't have a pen on me or a piece of paper, but I'll remember it. Anyone have any thoughts on topics or jokes for next year?
End times.
End times. I don't want to get that political, but that's fine. Yes.
Enjoying your suffering.
Enjoying the suffering. I actually did that back in 12. I guess you didn't have the best of DVD, Matthew Talbot, but I did that one back at Mayorano 12. But I appreciate that. Any other thoughts? Yes. Carob. Yes, I have no witty response to that soul-searing thing you just said right there. Yes, beautiful robots. So I'll think of all those jokes and rewrite them for next time, but I guess I do have a few jokes for today, which I will now get into. What I like the most is the ability to hack into any of your phones, because I know that any Baba lover, their passcode is either 1894, 1969, I know you're laughing because this is true, or 2222, which spells out Baba on the little keypad. I know that all I need to access your credit information is your mother's maiden name, your social security number, and like the high school mascot that you had or something like that. Most of which are cougars, so I think I got that one down. And I'll give you guys a minute to realize that in 3 guesses or less, we can all hack each other's phones. And this was I don't know if you guys remember, there's a Seinfeld episode from back in the day where George wouldn't turn over his passcode. We're trying to be Bosco, and I don't know why the passcode was like a word instead of a series of numbers, but it was the 90s, so it's just a different time. But that just doesn't exist. If I was dating any of you, I would have no trouble at all getting your passcode, similar to how George's girlfriend wanted to get his passcode. I'd probably have trouble with my wife, who'd be upset that I was dating any one of you, but I wouldn't have trouble accessing your phone. A friend of mine who I've referenced recently is a pastor at a local church. He moved out here, and I said, I will go to church and I'll support you. I've never been to church before, so I had no idea what this was going to be like. And I thought it would make me feel incredibly weird, because this is what real people do. This is what average American, real Americans, they go to church, right? So that's going to be the normal thing, and then I'm going to go there and I'm going to be like, we're the weirdest people ever. But it actually made me feel even more normal than I currently feel, because I went there, and the first thing they did was sing songs. Now, it wasn't the Australian arty, but we sing songs all the time. They sing songs, we sing songs. Then they had someone give a talk. Well, I've been to enough Bao talks, anyone can just talk. And our chai was a lot better. Can I say that? Their chai was terrible. It was very watery. My mom makes a much better chai.
It tastes like grape juice.
It tastes like grape juice. That's a bizarre chai, but all right. That's right.
Free bread.
Oh yeah, that's not the chai. I think you're confused. That's when they're drinking Jesus' blood, I think, and eating his flesh, which is something I'm learning about going to this church. But I like going there because as an attorney, there's a lot of potential clients there, so I started handing out my cards. This caused some frustration for my friend, who didn't want me going to his church and trying to hustle business from his parishioners. But I felt that if I can't hand out cards at a church I don't attend, as part of a religion I don't really believe in, where can I hand out cards? Like, what is that opportunity? But if you learn a lot more about Christianity, it actually make me feel more connected with Baba, because if you look at the Bible, large chunks of it are letters from this guy named Paul, right? And he openly admits he never met Jesus. He went and hung out with the disciples for a couple weeks, several years after Jesus died. Well, that's what you guys all did back in the 70s, right? Some even met Baba, but the ones who didn't meet Baba, you went and you hung out with the Mandali for a couple weeks back in the 70s. And the thing about Paul is that he wrote all these letters, and over thousands of years, billions of people have turned to him and said, this is the man that I have to emulate. I have to listen to what this guy is saying. So I assume in a few thousand years, we'll all be reading like Will David's Facebook page or something like that. And we'll be saying, this man, Harold William David III, was a truly great man. He never met Baba, but a few years after Baba died, he went and he met the Mandali. And I need to listen to what he's saying. These are important things.
I disagree.
Okay? Why do you disagree?
Alan Talbot.
It's going to be Alan Talbot. I don't know whose Facebook page is going to... I don't know who the billions of... It could be one of you in here that are become the true icon for the world. And frankly, I don't care for any of this. Because I've seen you enough on Facebook to know that I don't trust your opinions on a lot of things. I don't trust it on whether vaccines cause autism. I don't trust it on whether 9/11 was an inside job. And I certainly don't trust it on whether vaccines cause 9/11. All right? Now, some of you do Facebook. I love it. You put up Baba photos, and I'm scrolling through, and it's whatever, and then there's a photo of Baba, and that's great. Keep that up. Okay? But the rest of you, and keep in mind that I'm definitely insulting my audience, so I fully understand why the laughter is coming in the way it is. The rest of you have never met like a .net that you didn't love to post. You've never met like a health issue or a political issue from a URL that is in no way like even close to seeming appropriate that you didn't want to post. But I stay out of all that. I hope that all your fights continue to do great, and I hope that it never ends up with me. What I don't see you posting on Facebook is the I Ching. I don't know if has anyone ever posted on Facebook about the I Ching? Yeah, good. Because if you go to Myrtle Beach, there's a whole bunch of lists of things you can't do on the center, right? You can't have open-toed shoes, for example. You can't, and that makes sense. You don't want to hurt your feet. You can't have be out at night without a flashlight. And it also says you cannot do the I Ching. And before I get into this joke, let me just say, yes, I know. We've all heard it before. The I Ching is the Apple version of the Ching. Let's just get that joke out of the way. All right? We get it, all right? But yeah, get the laughter out. All right. I just don't want anyone to yell it up at me. The Apple version, blah, blah, blah. We've all heard it before. Alden's raising his hand. Everyone wants to yell it out at me. But the thing of it is that I genuinely have no idea what the I Ching is. And I could be doing the I Ching right now. I have no idea. Literally, I don't even know how to pronounce I Ching. Like, is it a verb? Am I I Chinging? I don't know how to conjugate. Will I have had I changed? I don't know. Is it I chinging? I don't even know if you have to put the I before the I in I ching. This is the ignorance. I have no idea. But what I do know is that Baba has said, do not do it on the center, which is perfect for me because I've never done it on the center. I've also never done it outside the center. I've done it 36 years of not I chinging. I'm doing great. Has anyone here done the I ching in real life? Can anyone tell me what it is? Yes. What is it?
You throw coins.
Okay.
Or yarrow stalks.
Yarrow stalks?
Yarrow stalks, which you can cut yourself. I've never done.
What's a yarrow stalk?
It's the yarrow plant. You cut one and you measure that, and you cut a bunch of others, and you can throw the stalks. And it's an alternative to throwing the coins and seeing if they come out heads or tails in a certain pattern.
Is it 3 coins?
Divination. It's 3 coins.
She's raising her hand. Yes.
Yeah, it's a sacred book from the Taoist tradition
Okay.
that is used for divination.
So is it a book or is it throwing stalks?
Well, you know, first of all, the writing is different
Okay.
because it's not alphabetic writing. So it uses nature,
Okay.
8 symbols of nature, and how they combine gives you a kind of oracle.
So are we I chinging right now? Is that what's going on?
But you know,
I Ching. I don't even know how to pronounce it correctly. I'm doing terrible because I pronounced it totally incorrectly. Yeah, you had a comment.
Just about to say that there's no I in I Ching, it's I Ching. You know?
Well, my dad just beat you to that. You were kindly raising your hand. He just yelled it out. You know. But that always cracked me up. That always cracked me up because I would read that and I would say, is there a lot of peer pressure in the Bible community where people are like, okay, let's go behind the lagoon cabin. Let's go, okay, all right, meet at like 10:30 and at the barn and we're going to do the I Ching. Is that how it's pronounced? We're doing the I Ching. Like, I've never seen that before, so it always just, let me go through the list there. But thank you very much. You're a great crowd. You have one more comment. Clive Adams, let's take us home.
Okay. It's a divination system.
Divination.
Basically, I think Baba or Elizabeth used it as a emblem, and it's symbolic of any divination.
So don't divine.
There are many of them.
Don't divine at all on the center, is what you're saying? All right, so we've learned one thing today, no divining on the center, keep her divining off center, all right?
Love divine, but you cannot.
All right, you cannot divine, but you can love divine. Sounds great, thank you so much. Have a great day.